Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Force with some more WildStar coverage. In today's video, I'm going to be talking with you and showing you adventures. Specifically, we're looking at the Riot in the Void adventure. It's a level 15 one, and let me explain to you what these are. Adventures are basically a mix between questing in a group and a dungeon. It's not quite as challenging as a dungeon, but there are bosses, and you're basically going through several events as you make your way throughout an adventure, and it's also instanced, so it's just you and your group. So here we are with our first decision. In every adventure, there will be various points in which you have to vote on what you want to do to progress forward. My group happened to vote for cold storage here, so our first objective is going to be to head actually behind our current location into this cold storage area. First, we've got to clear some trash mobs. You'll notice if you watch my actual dungeon video the other day, these aren't quite as difficult. Now, they're harder than normal mobs, the ones that you'll typically face in the world, but they're not nearly as difficult as the mobs that you'll face in a regular old dungeon. So we clear some of these, and then we head back into the cold storage area, at which point we'll be presented with our very first challenge. And that's how it seems to be broken up, just from my experience here in this one adventure. This is the only one I've ever done in WildStar. I've done several runs of it, but I haven't tried any of the higher level ones, or I believe there's also another level 15 one that you can do. But it basically seems that this one was broken up into 3 sections, and at each one of those intervals you get to choose one of 3 things to do, and then within the instanced area it will just task you with going to a different part of it and completing a different objective. So right now we're tasked with clearing 20 waves of these enemies. Pretty difficult. They'll knock you down, they'll stun you. There's I think these like little robots that come up and will knock you down as well. That just happened right there. So that's what we had to do in this run. In another run, instead of picking cold storage, we picked one that had us clearing these weapon storage containers. So we were still in this. We were still in the same instance. We were still here in this security prison area, but we were just in a different part of it and completing a different objective. And again, I've done multiple runs. I've looked at multiple different scenarios. It was all within the same confined area, but again, it's just pretty much different objectives, different tasks along the way. So here we are now wrapping up our first task, and then we're going to move on to a checkpoint in which we will be required to pick what we want to do next. So this will force you to wait for the group, and then once everyone arrives, then it will be time to vote. So now you can see we've got another 3 choices. So every player is going to pick the one that they want, and then whatever one gets the most votes in your team, that's the one that you're going to do. So it looks like my team chose for this one shooting gallery. So now we move on to the next task, and that's how it's structured. You've got a choice. You've got one of 3 decisions to make. You pick it, you go do that challenge, and then you move on to the next. Before we got there, though, there were some more waves of trash mobs in which we're going to clear here. Again, you can see these going down very, very quickly. So the challenge isn't quite as tuned up as the dungeons are. Even the trash packs in dungeons, with only 1 or 2 mobs in each pull, typically take like 1 to 2 minutes to drop. These are very quick, but there are still boss fights that will take place, and we're actually going to be taking a look at one of those very shortly. But here we are actually, so that was trash. This is what our second objective is, which is we've got to eliminate these prisoners that are rioting and just going crazy out in the yard. So I'm playing as a tank. You'll notice that this isn't the character that I was playing with in the last video. I got my last character, the Stalker, who I was rolling as a tank / DPS. I got him to 25, and I decided I want to try another one. So we're actually looking at the engineer gameplay. Okay, so we took care of the rioting prisoners, and now we're on to finish up. We're still in the second tier of this adventure, and this will be the first boss fight that we encounter. So I do believe, just depending on what you choose, you'll have a different boss fight, but I do believe every run contained 2 boss fights. It's just who you fought where and when is what will switch up. So for example, I did another run where we fought this person last, and so we fought this, instead of fighting this in the second tier, we fought this person in the last tier in a different area. Now, I'm not sure if that changes the loot table or whatnot. I haven't looked into that. Unfortunately, I can't tell you exactly how that works, but yeah, it basically changes up the storyline. It changes up how things will be presented to you as you make it through. So the boss fight here, not a whole lot going on. It's so funny to watch. I'm tanking right now, but it's a range tank. The engineer is a very interesting class. I'm having a lot of fun with it, but the mechanics are basically I hold aggro on her. She's gonna plop down some red on the ground, and then she's got these 4 mech units that will come to life as you progress through the fight and get her lower and lower. And all I'm doing is just trying to make sure I'm holding aggro. She's ranged though, so she's got. You can see if when I'm targeting her that she's actually targeting me as well. It's very strange. It's very strange tanking his range. I'm getting used to it though, and it's actually a lot of fun. I've been really enjoying this. I'm trying to figure out what class I'm gonna want to tank with when the game goes live. Okay, so there we go. We finished our first boss fight. There's some loot, and I actually end up rolling for this because I believe I'm the only heavy armor wearer. Yeah, I'm the only one who needed for this, and that's actually a very good piece for my DPS spec. Very cool thing about this game is that everyone has a DPS and then like a support spec, whether it's tanking or healing. And dual specking is just innate. You get it at level 15, so that's really awesome. Okay, so finish the boss in the second stage. Go on to the third stage. We pick one of two. We picked one of 2 potential things, and then we moved on to our third challenge, and this will be the final challenge prior to the final boss fight. This one, kind of, I guess, tedious. We're supposed to defend this gate, and then it's just all this section of this run was literally, I think it was 4 straight minutes of these guys coming. Or something. It was like 3 or 4 minutes. Maybe it was 3, but they were just coming nonstop, just wave after wave after wave, and we're basically trying to defend this gate by fending these things off each wave at a time. So once you finish this wave, it has you run all the way back. So this is the final tier here. Once we finish this, it has us run all the way back to all stand in one specific area, and then it has us run right back out here into the yard. So we're in the yard right now at the prison. We kill the last thing, we go in, everyone gets there, and then it says, okay, now go right back where you came from. I was scratching my head at this. I'm like, why didn't you guys just why didn't you just spawn the boss? But that aside, here it is, final boss fight. It's, again, these things are a challenge compared to regular leveling content, but not as hard as a normal dungeon. I'm being very repetitive, I understand. I just wanna drive that point home. Like this boss fight, nothing too crazy. I hold aggro on him the entire time, but he runs around periodically. He picks a target, runs to the target, and then does a whirlwind. So you can see him doing that right now, but as I'm targeted on him, you can notice that he still has aggro on me. He's still targeting me. So he's gonna keep coming back, and then there are waves of other enemies that come, and I just have to make sure I pick up aggro on them. He does his whirlwind, comes back to me, etc., etc. So, you know, it's actually really nice, especially for experience. I got from level 15 to 20 doing 5 runs of this. That's it. Well, actually, to be fair, I'm sorry. I started off, I was just about to hit 16 when I first started doing this. So I did 5 runs of this adventure, and I went from essentially level 16 to level 20. Seems like very, very good experience points. So that's really neat. I don't find it as interesting as the normal dungeons. Again, I'm not gonna lie, because it's not quite as challenging. The little mini bosses that we fight against, like the first one you saw in this one, they're okay. They're not that challenging. You know, like I said, depending on the outcome that you pick, you could fight a different boss. So the boss that we fought second, in another run, I actually fought her last, which it was still right outside in this area, but I just didn't fight her. You know, it's just, so I'll be really interested to see. This is an early level one. It's only level 15 one, so I'm not sure how adventures are gonna look in the later tiers. It's interesting, but I definitely like the dungeons a lot more. I really do. But for experience, man, again, I'd have to say you can't beat this. If you get a good group together, you could probably grind these out and get tons of XP. That is, of course, subject to change. If they feel like it's unfair, they might patch it so that you don't get as much experience in these. But right now, it's a good way to level up pretty quickly, it seems. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much gonna do it, guys. I just wanted to show you an adventure, talk with you a little bit about it, and give you my impressions. Just as a quick recap, an instanced group thing where you go from tier to tier, picking one of a few options. That's going to change basically your task, whether you're killing something or collecting something or fighting someone at this point or at that point. But it all does appear to be done in the exact same area. It's just where are you going at each point in the progression. Okay, so that's gonna do it for the video. Thanks guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this look at adventures. Stay tuned for more WildStar coverage coming up. I'm gonna keep leveling the engineer. I do want to try this at the level 20 instances to do some tanking. I do plan to show you the second level 20 instance, the one that I haven't shown you yet. And also, I think next I might take a look at housing, or at least sometime very soon. Because the housing system's kind of neat in this game. There's lots of things. It's an instance thing, so not everyone can, you know, just walk into your house as they're wandering throughout the world, but there's a lot of customization and stuff that could be done, which is really neat. So that's gonna do it, guys. Thanks so much for watching this WildStar video here, going over adventures. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, please subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Keep watching and keep owning.